Just by the by.
Okay, well, back again. So that was interesting. Shutting down everything helped, and then I had to laugh because I usually do things at BZ speed, which is Mach 5, and when I'm a little off that speed, people are like, where are you? What the hell's going on? I said, well, you know. Anyways, so it's up. It's been tweeted, and it's been all over Facebook, and it's all on the IUV. And
Yeah, I know. So I was just trying to read it, and what's
I'm going to
different?
share my screen, okay?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, now it's too warm in here.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, honey.
Oh, come on.
Okay, we need to go on that. Can you stand down a little bit?
Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So these are a bunch of documents that were released tonight. They were released and entered on 1/22/18 at 9:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a couple of things, before we actually get to the documents, a couple of things that are very important to note about this. Normally, the way things happen within the purported judicial system is you file something electronically, you file something through the clerk of courts, you get a stamped receipt out of the documents that you have filed. So you have proof in your hands, in your actual physical hands, that they've been filed, and then it's gone in the system. Once it goes in the system, it's automatically uploaded by the clerk of courts because their system is electronic up onto PACER. There may sometimes be an hour delay. You know, that's not unheard of. But due to the last month and a half or so, the shenanigans that have been going on with things not being filed properly, things disappearing, actual emails of sent documents to all of the elbow councils, to the United States Attorney General's office with the Eastern District of Tennessee, actually being removed from Heather's computer. So if you have any doubt that people have access to your computers and you're thinking, oh, you don't want to share this or that because okay, well, that ship never was on the ocean, so it couldn't have even sailed. So,
Right.
So anyway, and that's why we back up everything. That's why there are multiple archivists, and that's why the IUV publishes everything, because now once it's published, it's a matter of public record. It's also a public notice. Think of a town square and a public notice board. And notice to principal is notice to agent is notice to principal. So whether you knew about it or not, or you saw it or not, you've been noticed. So that's
Right.
just that. The thing that's very exciting, in addition to the content of these documents, and that took me a while to get back to you guys to record this, is that we actually now have an up-to-date record with 98 being the last one. We were also, I was looking for 96 and 97 because the last one that was posted on the IUV left off with 95. So we've got them all now. They're all in this document. And we also have the record to date as of up to and inclusive of 9:49 p.m. Eastern Time on 1/22/18, the actual PACER record and detail of all that, the history. And I keep saying PACER, and why is that important? Because PACER is a record, an electronic record, and a capture of the entire justice system.
I gotcha.
And so when it's in there, not only is it in the Eastern Tennessee and that system, but everything is electronic. More importantly, everything is energetic.
Right.
And whether you know it or not, believe it or not, or think it's hooey or not, because some people out there who comment on this think it's hooey, doesn't matter. It's now in the system, in the system. Okay? If you get my meaning, in all system, in the original system, and where it matters. And this was actually not only filed on the 22nd, but published on the 22nd, so that it was public noticed on the 22nd, and Twittered in that public square, so to say, whether or not I'm shadow banned or not for the IUV. Anyways, that's out there. So that makes it even more important. The fact that there were no shenanigans. Keep in mind, there was a very short window between the time this was filing and the time that it got up onto Pacer. They didn't make it roll over. They didn't hold it. They didn't do. So the they here is the Eastern District of Tennessee, and their whole process did not block or obfuscate that from happening. And that's huge.
Yeah.
I can't quite describe to you the magnitude of that, but it's huge. I mean, we're all celebrating in the room just how huge it is. Anyways, so this first, I'm going to skip the first document just for a minute, and I'm going to actually show you this view because it's in color. And it's going to be well, easier to see. Here, can you see that?
I can see your email. No, okay.
Yes. That's the email. So if this is the second part of the document that's on the IUV, I'm just showing you in my email because it's in color. I didn't fix that. I'll have to fix it on the IUV.
Right.
But anyways, if you look here, can you see where my mouse is?
Yes.
Okay. So this is showing you that this is a confirmation.
Right.
From the actual
the courts.
United States government system.
Yeah.
Okay.
The U.S. courts. Yep.
Right.
I see that.
With a timestamp and the activity in the case and a notice of filing.
Okay.
And then this is also telling you now that it's up on Pacer. And this is showing you the notice of the electronic filing.
Right.
And then to all the parties here, from the Justice Department, that it has been CC'd to. So all this is on the IUV. You can see it. It's just in the colors here, and I'll need to fix that on the IUV.
Right.
So that you can see it. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. Now I'll go back here, and what I just showed you in the email is all right here.
Just not in color.
Right, not in color yet, because I was rushing to do this. So,
right.
So what I was showing you a minute ago doesn't stand out quite as well as why I showed it to you in the email.
Right.
And this electronic document stamp, which is gold, to have this done on the 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, and so again, this instrument is an original instrument, and it's a due notice. It's a precipe, which is a command. And you'll see here in red, notice to principal is notice to agent is notice to principal. And that is more, well, if you don't know what that is, go look it up. It'll be good research for you. But it's important that this is on a precipe and that it was filed at this date, on this date, and we have a Pacer receipt of it coming out. So people can read it. I don't think I'll skip through some of this. One of the most important things to see right here is the precipe declaration of due cause and judgment and order of dismissal. And then it has the normal, it's, to all those people, it's in their uppercase and their proper case. And then Randy is included because he's an alleged defendant. And this goes through and gives, think of this as an arm, a simple way, a very simple and perhaps simplified way to describe this. This is a legal arm and instrument of enforcement of EO 13818. Okay?
Okay.
And you can see that particularly with specificity and particularity in Precipe number, go away. In Precipe number, Precipe number 2, due notice. In this part, I will read, each act done by foreign agents, registered and not registered, are a matter of public record and have been and continue to be duly accepted as evidence of separate acts of gross negligence, collusion, corruption, subversion, and more. Furthermore, said acts have been and continue to be duly assessed, reconciled, and settled against the foreign actors and interests that have knowingly caused said gross negligence, collusion, corruption, subversion, and more by their foreign agents situated in offices and employment through the branches, departments, and agencies of the United States of America. Said assessments, reconciliations, and settlements done under existing commercial and true bill accounts by original accordingly since October 18th, 2017, 9:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, documents 43, 54, 55, and 56, all restated and duly incorporated here by references set forth. Okay, so then you got other things here. Number 5 is talking about the restated judgment of dismissal with prejudice. And I'm pretty certain, now I haven't even looked at this document yet, so, but I'm pretty certain what you're going to find here. Then she's got a declaration of summary of facts. Yes, this is what I'm, see, at these same, okay, hang on. Apparently I can't skip over that. Okay, this is what we want. So this is even better than the EO. B, recorded universal meetings have been held in and near Antarctica, as well as other locations for over the last 6 years during said universal cleanup. I have been present at those meetings. During those meetings, specific and particular foreign actors on this planet that include but are not limited to the public frontmen of Rothschilds, Putin, Berlusconi, G, Gates, Italy, China, Russia, Japan, etc., foreign actors have attempted to negotiate their continued long-standing management programs and heinous crimes against humanity and this planet. The primary universal financial facilitators of the remaining said foreign actors and their foreign agents include, but are not limited to, 1, Carl Langenstein, CH/PA. 2, Henry Todd. 3, Jonathan D. Betts. 4, Janet Yellen. 5, Stanley Fisher. 6, William D. Dudley. All identities of every foreign actor, facilitator, and foreign agent, and all data held within the universal backdoor are to be made public on the pre-chosen and preset date of January 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, which is just about to happen. So here's a news flash, ladies, news flash. You were thinking about the memo, a memo.
No.
And you've got the memo here.
Here it is.
Okay? It wasn't the memo you were thinking about, but that's what I told you. We had a surprise. That's remember my expletives when I saw this come through?
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, okay. C, at these same universal meetings, especially just prior to, during, and after the 2016 elections, these same foreign actors repeatedly expressed their concern for their long-standing status and control of their private interests, assets, and planetary management that are near non-existent due to the universal cleanup. They expressed further specific concerns regarding any universal support, coordination, and cooperation being given to Donald J. Trump, now duly elected President of the United States, POTUS, in his efforts to clean up United States, all caps, and to protect and empower the people in America, their interests, and their lives. D, prior to June 22nd, 2017, I was duly noticed and made aware of escalating unlawful and illegal threats of foreign action by known foreign actors against POTUS. That included, but is not limited to, data that these known foreign actors intended to remove POTUS from office by any means necessary if their current means failed. Russia had their plan, China had their plan, while Switzerland, UK, includes Commonwealths of Canada and Australia, and the EU were playing supporting roles and letting things play out by China and Russia. I knew the foreign threat to be credible and viable and continued to monitor foreign actors' current means of escalation to any means necessary. How you doing, girls?
Just a little gobsmacked and crying over here, actually.
Just checking. Hang on, I gotta go back to what that word was before. Oops. Okay, I can do this. I really can do this. Come on. Come on, please. Thank you. Okay, any means necessary. It probably helps if I go on the right page next. My electronics are just holding together by a bare thread because of all the energy frequency.
Yes, I know. I can feel that. Go ahead.
I also was aware of the possibility that the foreign actors' threat against POTUS had the potential to become imminent instant based on my many years of experience, knowledge, and familiarity with the foreign actors, their financial facilitators, and their global foreign agent network, weaponry, operations, patterns, and funding, including but not limited to operations, funding, and foreign agents in offices and employment within all the entities, branches, departments, agencies, states, and districts of the United States of America, foreign agents. The situation was closely being monitored for the possibility that the foreign threat would escalate to imminent instant. And I'm going to interject for a minute here and stop reading for just a second. So when anyone who was reading or who bothered to read or who was awake enough to look at EO 13818, that, oh, that's just people outside of this country. There's 12, 13 people, has nothing to do with this. Okay. Well, try again.
She's on the letter E. I think she's going on to F right now, which is page. Yeah, 4.
F. On June 22nd, I did receive data that said known foreign actors were becoming even more afraid, frustrated, and completely angered by their lack of being able to fund operations, their foreign agents' inability to read, predict, and control POTUS and his actions, and their suspicion that POTUS was receiving universal support. Yeah, that's got to tick you off. My years of experience with the foreign actors, coupled with the data and the foreign actors' escalating patterns of rhetoric, funding, consolidation, and actions, confirmed to me that their threat against POTUS would 100% escalate to imminent instant. I reviewed and considered all available data, options, and sources to use to permanently terminate the foreign threat against POTUS. G. On June 27th, 2017, universal actions were initiated to provide transparent cooperation, coordination, sources, resources, and the vast intelligence of the foreign actors involved to better empower those in the U.S. military and law enforcement who would protect POTUS, and for POTUS to have all tools available in existence to permanently terminate the foreign actors' threat against him. Universal unification. Said foreign threat is the same long-standing foreign threat against all of humanity, this planet, and in my humbled experience, all of existence. Yes, you bet. I left my home in Lynn, Massachusetts to protect my family and to prepare to provide assistance as necessary. H. On or about July 3rd, I arrived in Houston, Texas. After my arrival, I received notice of the detail of a strategic operation by foreign actors to steal money from the U.S. Treasury Direct Depository accounts, commonly referred to now as TDAs or TDAs, TDVAs, using the people in America. The strategic operation was to be run with a sovereign template to remove anyone that may risk the operation getting out of the foreign agent's control, like Occupy Wall Street did. That's a whole nother story you have to research yourself. The basic operation was for an average citizen to receive enough information of how to access their Treasury Direct Deposit accounts. You guys are going to love this. Treasury Direct Deposit accounts. Make payments from said accounts to various members immunized by Obama's National Cybersecurity Act, corporations, banks, etc., and other various acts. The receiving entities would then be ordered by the Federal Reserve to return the funds. The receiving entities would be able to make write-offs, insurance claims, etc., while the Federal Reserve and with the aid of the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, would divert the seemingly returned funds to designated global locations in support of the foreign threat against POTUS and other terrorist activities. Yeah, you guess. Go back and look at all the comments on the IUV and what I've been saying for the last, 6 months. Would divert the seemingly returned funds to designated global locations in support of the foreign threat against POTUS and other terrorist activities, since all their systems are legally private except for one instance, the universal backdoor. And why do you think they needed to have this scam? This is me talking. Why do you think they needed to have this scam running and little individual common folk accessing their TDDAs? Because, newsflash, through the UCC filings of the 1776 Universal Trust, that were all foreclosed and the money was gone and all returned to you. And so you had to front them.
Holy crap.
All my loans are paid off.
No. Wow.
Are we having fun yet?
Holy crap.
That's my happy dance, sitting down. From that day forward, universal actions were planned and done to, 1, redirect the majority of the foreign actors' attention from making their threat against POTUS imminent. That was us. That was all us.
I know. I see that. She's saying that's all us.
Redirect the majority of the foreign actors' attention from making their threat against POTUS imminent. 2, to create an attractive bait that would provoke those foreign actors from using and harming unsuspecting average citizens. 3, to create one single recorded and unexpected event that would cause and render the foreign actors in a desperate state where they would abandon their typically compartmentalized protocols and procedures used to remain hidden and unknown for a clear, concise, transparent, and complete global footprint, including but not limited to exposing their identities, their funding and transactions, operations, and most importantly, their foreign agents within all.
Talk about the ultimate sting operation.
Yes, ma'am. And you were right. I kept saying we all are doing this.
Yes, you did.
Entities, branches, departments, agencies, states, and districts of the United States and the members and systems of the Federal Reserve System and the Bank for International Settlement, BIS, and 4, simultaneous completion of the universal unification to support and further empower POTUS, U.S. military, law enforcement, and the people in America to to permanently terminate the foreign threat to POTUS, the long-standing threat to the people in America, humanity, and this planet, and the possibility of future threats being created thereafter. J. On or about July 10th, 2017, I was made aware that the foreign actors threatening POTUS had realized they were losing control of their strategic operations and directed their foreign agents, wait for it, to ascertain the bait that was in the form of an officially retired military man, Randall Keith Bean and Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe, whom the foreign actors are familiar with from the Universal Cleanup operations. The foreign actors did abandon typical protocols and procedures and did directly order foreign agents to quickly organize unlawful and illegal actions in order to not lose further control of their own strategic operation initiated July 1st, 2017. Its exposure and to grab the bait so that their foreign agents in Tennessee would have and manage jurisdiction and control over the matter thereafter. That didn't work out too good.
No, it sure didn't.
K. On July 11th, 2017, at approximately, do not do that. Don't do it. On July 11th, 2017, at approximately 11:30 a.m. Eastern, said foreign actors and foreign agents did take unlawful and illegal actions, including but not limited to kidnapping, assaulting, and detaining Randall Keith Bean, as well as unlawfully and illegally stealing his lawful and legal property in or around Knoxville, Tennessee. This was done while the complete due legal documentation of lawful and legal sale, title, ownership, origin of funds, history of funds, and authority involved was being delivered directly to Whitney Bank and Buddy Gregg Motors. Hang on one second. I got to check this. Okay. Sorry. L. Approximately late afternoon on that same day, the foreign actors threatening POTUS did contact me directly to be able to assess what effect and progress the morning's events with Mr. Bean had on stopping. Excuse me. On stopping the universal unification, the completion of their threat against POTUS, and my personal actions to stop that threat. They delivered a threat to take unprecedented, harmful, painful, and immediate action against me personally if I continue to take actions to complete the universal unification and to permanently terminate their threat against POTUS. They also delivered an offer for me to be able to use my personal Treasury Direct account along with a small group I designated and controlled, and not to take such unprecedented action against me, along with an offer of money if I agreed and took action to shut down all universal actions to make the public aware of the foreign actors' strategic operation and not make public information regarding their global funding operations. She said no. Over the last 20 years, I have received many, many offers and threats from these foreign actors in their hopes to stop the universal cleanup. I informed them that I would consider all that they had said. Immediately thereafter, I continued to deliver the due documentation to all necessary parties in order to protect the ones that the foreign actors had made participants to their unlawful and illegal operation, including but not limited to protecting Randall Keith Bean, Whitney Bank, and Buddy Gregg Motor Homes. N. I gave my current filings and suggestions to all participants of the universal cleanup. The foreign actors threatening POTUS had effectively created the unexpected event. Wink. Described in Article 1.1.3 above, restated by their own hands and actions with a preset data release of all data recorded during the universal cleanup, which is January 22nd, 2007. I think she's got the date wrong there. 2018 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. That's okay.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cool.
And notice and confirm my intent to enter the unexpected event that actions had already been taken on July 10th, 2017 was supplemental recording to ensure my entrance into the unexpected event and my continued fortitude to personally contribute to the permanent termination of the foreign threat against POTUS. Excuse me. L, am I going in the right direction?
Yeah, the letters repeat themselves.
Yeah, they're repeating.
Okay.
But it's
They are
different.
repeating? No. Okay. L.
They are repeating, but it's different verbiage. It's not the same.
Yeah. On July 12th, 2017, the foreign actors threatening POTUS were duly notified of my rejection of their offer. And watch the dates. You can go on the IUV and see all the videos that correspond to all the dates. And you know what? It's a matter of history, public record, all the way through. What you're seeing here is all
Right.
on purpose. On July 12, 2017, the foreign actors threatening POTUS were duly notified of my rejection of their offer by my specific, particular, and transparent actions done that day with supplemental recording to notify the public of the foreign actors' operations, the July 11, 2017 illegal and unlawful actions against Randall Keith Bean, and universal actions to make sure that no average citizens would be further used and harmed. Notice how that's in quotations. So
Yes.
that'll give you a hint to what's enough said. You'll figure that out in a minute or two, or maybe 10, depending. M, on or about July 14th, 2017, the foreign actors did begin to take considerable actions to better consolidate, fortify, and move their global assets, properties, operations, and foreign agents against risk of exposure and loss. And on July 18th, 2017, the foreign actors threatening POTUS were given universal notice and examples of universal unification with further notice they would be transparently given to further empower the U.S. military, law enforcement, POTUS, the people in America, humanity, and this planet in order to permanently stop all existing threats. Oh, on July 19th, 2017, I was informed upon my arrival at Washington, D.C., that the foreign actors threatening POTUS did respond to said universal notification by quietly ordering their foreign agents to prepare further specific and particular activation to prevent me from catching a flight out of Knoxville, Tennessee to Washington, D.C., and to prevent the universal unification from being made public. I obviously arrived safely in Washington, D.C. P. On July 20th, 2017, the foreign actors did panic, again abandoning their typical protocols and procedures, and ordered their foreign agents, including Janet Yellen, chairwoman of the Federal Reserve System, to take drastic measures, including but not limited to making a false, off-record report of a threat when I neared the U.S. Treasury and the White House, causing the U.S. Secret Service, U.S. military, and law enforcement to immediately respond and secure the entire street. We have witnesses. We actually have that on videotape of that unfolding. Audio tape. It's on video, but it's audio. Respond the entire street. Eventually, no threat was found to be present by said response teams. During that event, I did receive a call from the foreign actors threatening POTUS, making comments, including but not limited to U1. Simultaneous universal reports were coming in that the foreign actors were considering and consulting on the viability of making their threat against POTUS imminent instant. Universal teams monitored all data every moment for any confirmations that the threat against POTUS had indeed escalated to imminent instant. The foreign actors' plan of threat and the identification of the foreign agents that they were immobilizing to implement. Universal counteractions were on ready to immediately neutralize the foreign actors, their foreign agents, and the foreign threat against POTUS, even though the universal unification had not been completed at that time. Q. On July 24th, 2017, there was universal intelligence to confirm that the foreign actors had chosen to make their threat against POTUS imminent instant and that their foreign agents currently in offices and employment within all the entities, branches, departments, agencies, states, and districts of the United States of America were to be used along with other foreign agents that were currently arriving in America. Based on that intelligence and my own observations since arriving in Washington, D.C., I chose to hyper-accelerate the completion of the universal unification and de-escalate the imminent instant foreign threat against POTUS. I catalyzed all said notices, universal unification, tripped off planetary alarms, and a real-time status check of my NCIC by presenting myself at the White House, insisting they run my passport, giving them one of the foreign actors organizers to track. I'm sorry, my mobile phone number and my then current lodging information. I'm sorry. It's just so funny. Are you following along?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
At Trump International Hotel, Washington, D.C.
No, I'm following along with what she's actually telling you. Boys, I'm right here. Come
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
Foreign actors were caught off guard by my actions that night. All universal reports and intelligence gathered confirmed that the foreign actors were irate at me and scared of the imminent risk of their exposure, capture, and more, especially in the light of the fact that POTUS, U.S. military and law enforcement, now had universal support, including but not limited to the universal backdoor of all records held within for the universal cleanup. Held within for the universal cleanup. Held, I'll say it one more time because not everybody caught that. Held within.
Remember you said I'm not slow and I'm not in the back, but I did get that this time.
On July 25th, 2017 at approximately 10:38 Eastern Time, I was approached and taken at Trump International by the foreign actors, foreign agents, and officially entered into the unexpected event. Article 1.1.3 above, restated on July 26, 2017. Since then, the foreign agents have made and continue to make transparent their global footprint for POTUS, U.S. military and law enforcement, and the entirety of the universal unification to act upon in order to permanently terminate the foreign threat against POTUS, the people in America, humanity, and all of existence. On July 25th, 2017, I did commence actions to assist with the universal cleanup, now with universal unification with POTUS, U.S. military, and law enforcement. My specialized focus was determined to identify the national security threats inherent within the structure and operation of current judicial branch and law enforcement operations. I was assisted by individuals in the FBI, U.S. Marshals, BOP, and Judicial District of Tennessee. So, when y'all throw around a judgment card, be very careful. Since July 25th, 2017, record has been duly established and provided to POTUS, U.S. military and law enforcement. Sorry, inside joke. And law enforcement of the national security threats within the structures and operations of all the entities, branches, departments, agencies, states, and districts of the United States of America, and who created them, including but not limited to deceptive acts and practices against the people in America, ignorance, collusion, corruption, and subversion done specifically in the above referenced alleged action. And the perpetrators have been duly referred for appropriate action under EO 13818. Imagine that. Documents 18, 19, 25, 42, 43, 45, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 64, 65, 66, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 80, 81, 82, 86, 92, 93, 94, 95, 90, and 96 are all restated and incorporated here by reference as if set forth in full, especially all precipice and declarations of due clause. So yeah, a precipice is just common law, UHA, and it's a, you bet. 2, final due findings, judgment, and orders. For due cause, all documents and actions by alleged parties and entities, inclusive of those by Thomas Varlin and Clifford C. Shirley Jr., are found to be null and void abiento for lack of due jurisdiction and authority. Further, it is found judged and ordered with sole due lawful and legal authority, authorization, and jurisdiction in matter of due record that this alleged case against Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe is dismissed with prejudice for due cause, and said judgment and order is duly made, issued, entered, and noticed by Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe for all to rely upon effective immediately.
Thank you, darling. So
This
nice.
praecipiate and declaration of due cause now duly made, issued, notice, verified, and validated for all to rely upon. January 22nd, 2018.
It is done. Fini.
Due notice, judgment, and order of dismissal. Notice to principals, notice to agent, notice to agents, notice to principal. It is ordered that the superseding criminal indictment and action against the above named defendant, Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe, is dismissed with prejudice. And then the last one is her certification and seal. Okay. And then these other documents down here, 96, which is referenced, and that's the United States of America's objections to defendant Randall Keith Bean's proposed voir dire direct questions. And 97, U.S. motion to amend indictment. Which is the United States of America's motion to amend indictment to correct clerical error. Yeah, there was a whole lot of them. Okay. And then you have the history, which they can't count. So 98 comes before 97, but we all knew that because we learned that in school. 93 comes before 92, and 95 comes before 94.
Right.
Yes. And that gives you the whole record of the alleged case. So I'm going to stop sharing screen. Ta-da!
I remember when I said in that last recording that I felt like I was standing on the edge of a precipice of something so huge.
But this is just the little part. This is the little part. We got bigger stuff coming. It's just little.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is a scoop on the top of the iceberg. But it's not the whole iceberg.
Wow.
And you won't hear it on MSN.
No. Well,
You know what? You are MSN.
I was about to say, I would like to submit actually that is what we are. Yes, we're the new stream media. And
Hang on
so,
one second.
holy crap.
There's your memo. I love that.
Say what?
So there's your memo. It cited.
Yes. Oh, wow.
It cited everyone.
That is so huge.
Sorry, I got to do a little work while we do this.
That's okay. I've been being contacted myself over here. So what's next? I mean,
Play. Bringing the new earth fully into physicality.
Well, I am all set for that. Let's go. Oh.
I,
So we want to end this recording here.
okay. I guess when I say what's next, I mean,